Hi, my name is Omar Qureshi and we are sitting here celebrating an iconic year for Indian cinema. It's 100 years of the Indian movie industry and 70 years for Mr. Bachchan, one of my favorite persons. I've had the occasion to interview him very often, but this time is very special. Welcome, Mr. Bachchan.
Thank you so much, Omar. There'll always be new talent and new faces around the corner which will challenge you, which will suddenly become more popular than you. That's part of it.
But that's not happened with you to a great extent. There was a time when you and the media couldn't stand each other.
The ban came from the media first because they had misconstrued this concept, which was untrue.
Mere angane mein jiski beevi choti, it became like very symbolic of you.
She fitted into that verse very well, so I used to bring her on stage. It was quite hilarious.
And your decision to join politics, how did that come about? Apart from Jaya, who do you think you made the best pair with on screen? Tell me, the secret of your energy, everyone says, is very contagious. And, where do you get it from? Do you have some Shangri-La or some elixir, kept away?
I don't know why people ask me this question, and I really don't have an adequate answer for this. But I can only say that once you get a commitment that you have now designed and you have to follow it through, you just go ahead and do it. It's an obligation that you have already contracted, and therefore it needs to be done. And once you're doing something, it needs to be done with the best that is of your ability. If that is being looked upon and is being energetic, then what can I say? I just try and do whatever is asked of me to do.
Yeah, I doubt you get a moment to think of the past, dwell on nostalgia, because you live in the now. But do you revisit the good old days, All India Radio, and the beginning of your career?
Not on a regular basis or not on a daily basis. I don't sit back and say, hey, where did I start from? And I think it's futile. I would rather want to know what's going to happen tomorrow than think about what happened in the past.
Could you recall your first shot that you gave for South Hindustani?
Oh, yes.
Can you?
Yeah.
What was that?
It was with Khwaja Ahmad Abbas. It was inside the campus of a college. I can't remember the name of the college or school, but I had to stand up and introduce myself in the frame. And that's what
the first
shot was.
It's like as clear as crystal. Then there was a period of struggle until Zanjeer.
That's right,
So, do you find that like a second coming, Zanjeer?
No, I think that once you're in the process and you're in the business, then you just look upon everything that happens in your life as a part of your existence. I'm just fortunate that Zanjeer came my way. And there was an acceptability to the actor, which was what most actors...
And how?
All actors, cry out for. And then started a fairly regular period of wonderful writing by Salim Javed, and directors like Prakash Mehra, Manmohan Desai, Yash Chopra, Ramesh Sippy, Rishikesh Mukherjee, just incredible amount of work.
We went back in time last week when Mr. Yash Chopra celebrated his birthday, and he was talking about you very fondly, and he said, he said he just brought alive the screen, whether it was reciting poetry or action or whatever he did. He spoke very fondly about you. So,
Thank you.
Also, occasion to revisit your wife, Mrs. Bachchan, who you met on the sets of Zanjeer. So,
not on the sets of Zanjeer. We actually met on the set of Goody. I was part of Goody at that time. And then because Anand had released in the meantime and the face had become sort of familiar, Rishida felt that character was not suitable to somebody like me. So I was changed. But that was where I'd met Jaya first.
And then the wooing process?
Oh, yes. Then for several years we were together. We did many films together. And then finally got married in '73.
Amazing.
Soon after Zanjeer,
But Zanjeer is still known as the movie which changed the face of cinema from romantic movies set in the era of the time, whether it's industrial or agricultural. It showed the angry young man, the angst of the unemployed. Do you think because you reflected the era at that time?
I think Salim Javed had a very comprehensive answer to this one when they were asked, what do you attribute the success of such films and such characters? And they said something similar. They said that there was so much angst and anger within the youth and within the people against the establishment that a character that stood up alone and challenged that automatically just became a hero. So most of their stories were designed in that fashion.
Anti-establishment.
And somewhat anti-establishment. They were the ones that thought out what would suit me. They were the ones that decided that this is the climate of the country or the climate of society and what is going to be liked and what is not going to be liked. So I was just fortunate enough to be capable of doing what they wrote. The actor, I think, is just a bystander who is asked to, deliver the lines that have been written. And so all credit will go to them rather than the actor.
Oh, that's your humility, Mr. Bachchan, but you brought a lot to the table. A bad actor couldn't have done justice to those characters.
I still feel the other way. I feel that the scripts were so brilliant and the moments and the characters so well designed that anyone who did it would have succeeded.
But you also displaced the romantic hero who was the idealist before you came, before the angry young man, displaced everyone else. There was Rajesh Khanna, who always there was this little underlying rivalry, always between the two, but you were great friends otherwise.
I don't think that displaced is a very ethical word to use, because it almost feels like there is a position being designated and then you've been removed. It's not like some kind of hierarchy that has been established. Yes, we worked together, and he was a wonderful colleague and an unbelievable superstar, the likes of which we've never seen again. And some of my films did well, and that's the routine of the film industry,
Right.
There'll always be some new talent and new faces around the corner which will challenge you, which will suddenly become more popular than you. That's part of it.
But that's not happened with you to a great extent.
Oh yes, I mean, you can't say that I'm playing the same kind of roles that I used to play earlier on.
No.
But yes, I'm fortunate that there are a few people who still recognize me, and people are interested in working with me, and I hope that I can continue doing it. When Mrs. Gandhi was assassinated, then it was a very emotional decision. I went into politics. Rajiv ji asked me to fight an election. I fought, I won, came into parliament. But having reached there, I realized that it was not something that I was comfortable doing.
You brought the era of the singing superstar back when movies like Silsila and Lawaris. You sang a lot, and the folk songs which became extremely popular. So was it a passion, a hidden passion, like to sing?
No, it was not. It's just that I'm not a trained singer or a singer at all. But it's just that during festivals one would take up the dholak, and I'd heard my father sing these songs at festivals and Holi and Diwali and other folk songs. And Yash ji had heard them, and Prakash ji had heard them. So he said, you have to sing this song for this film. And I used to think they were really mad at that time, but somehow it worked well in the story that they had designed.
And even like Mere Angane Mein, like Jiski Biwi Choti, it became like very symbolic of you whenever you did stage shows, and
She fitted into that verse very well, Jaya, so I used to bring her on stage. It was quite hilarious.
And you sang recently in Kahani, which Tagore's poetry, which was brought alive, and that was wonderful again after a long time.
That turned out nice, but you have wonderful machinery now, which makes you sing like a genius.
Yeah. Then you had this phase where you were out of action for a while because of the accident you met, unfortunately, on the sets of Kuli, and that really was a setback to the entire industry. That was a bad phase in your...
The accident was quite debilitating, and it took me a while to come out of it. But subsequently, when I felt that my body was up to work again, I accepted work, and we worked a lot with the same people. And it was very exciting. So I have no complaints about that.
No one took that route outside Beach Candy because it was chock-a-block. I lived down that road and I just could not step down, like crazy. But it was
I never knew what was going on outside the ICU. But
And your decision to join politics, how did that come about?
My parents and the Panditji Nehru family had been
closely associated,
very friendly from the time of Allahabad. And when Mrs. Gandhi was assassinated, then it was a very emotional decision, and I went into politics. Rajiv ji asked me to fight an election. I fought, I won, came into parliament. But having reached there, I realized that it was not something that I was comfortable doing, because I knew nothing about it, and I decided to resign. And that is what I did.
And you would never go back there?
No, never.
In the 80s and 90s, the late 80s and 90s, the phase was a little business-wise in terms of your, in terms of ABCL, not doing too well at that point, which was the learning curve for you.
Yeah.
Also, some of your movies, Khuda Gawah, you changed your style of filmmaking.
I didn't change. I never really dictated what I want to do, as I said. There were makers who decided these things, and I just felt if I can act in them, that's more than enough for me. Yeah. But yes, those were times when things were not going too well, whether it was the corporation that we had formed, which went into a lot of debt. There was great financial stress, personal financial stress, almost bankrupt. Films are not doing well. So yes, that was a difficult phase, but just kept going at it somehow. And
but your Atlas?
Yeah, in a sense you can say that. It was pretty miraculous.
Because you did mention to me once that you had to bear the weight stoically and not bring the stress home, because you had to keep working and you wanted to spend time at home, but you could not devote enough time.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. I think that this is something that is a prerogative which every man has to take some point of the time. What he's going to involve the family in and what he is not. And these were one of the moments that I did not. Yeah. Because, I just feel that it's something that I have done and I have been involved in. Why should I pass it on to the family?
Yeah, true. And of course, Atlas shrugged and the world shook. And then you came back and reinvented yourself with, for the first time, a huge superstar doing a television show which became a massive success and continues to be in season after season.
I never conceived that it would be that big. I was hesitant to do it because I was going into television for the first time. Had not been done before by many of the leading actors. But yes, it was a risk, but I went ahead and did it, and I'm so happy that it worked out well. Yeah. It's been quite marvelous, this association with KBC. It's almost 12 years now. Wow. It's been very fruitful.
And how is it working with the new phase of film directors, like directors of Pa and Buddha Hoga Tera Baap, and then Ram Gopal Verma, a different breed of filmmakers?
Yes, they are, and very enjoyable, because you come to know their minds, their style of working. And I'm greatly impressed by even the new generation of directors that are now emerging. Tigmanshu Dhulia, Anurag Kashyap, Anurag Basu, Sujoy Ghosh, Shujit Sarkar. Shujit I've already worked with in a film, and so I know some of his work. But yeah, it would be lovely to be able to, spend time with them and perhaps work in their projects again. Yeah,
and how different is the approach from the older lot? I mean, the senior lot.
I think filmmaking, it doesn't have too many differences between one generation or the other. It's just your way of or style of presenting something and what you believe in. And that's the director's prerogative. He thinks he needs to make a story about a particular subject, and this is how he wants to make it. And that's what we do. Poetic justice within 2 or 3 hours has been the almost code name for all Indian cinema. And perhaps the reason for its success also. You get poetic justice in 3 hours, whereas you and me will not get poetic justice perhaps in our lifetime. That's the attraction, really. And people have followed that principle and continue to work very well.
Any unfulfilled role in your real life?
I hope there are. I hope that there are people who will think of something. I'm unable to do so myself individually. Creative artists should have a lot of dreams unfulfilled.
Even today, Mr. Bachchan, there's this massive crowd which comes outside your house, and on Sundays it's like one of the iconic spots to be. And you make sure you don't disappoint them. You go out there, you wave to them, you take pictures. Like, what is the motivator? Is it just the fans, the adulation which moves you?
Of course, yes. I mean, these people have come from great distances and they've spent hours standing outside there, whether it's raining or whether it's the heat. And all they want is to see you. And so I think it's only proper that I go out and at least wave to them. And they demand nothing. It's just very, very simple things that they want. They just want you to wave out, want to see your face, perhaps sign a few autographs, take a couple of pictures, and that's about it. So I just go ahead and do it.
And there was a time when you and the media couldn't stand each other, and you were loggerheads, and of course all that's changed right now. I think they wrote a lot of stuff about you which you didn't agree with. at that point in time.
Yeah, yeah.
So anything you would want to revisit?
The ban came from the media first because they had misconstrued this concept that I was the one that had instigated the press censorship in the entire country because of the emergency and because of our relationship with Mrs. Gandhi, which was untrue. And then when I was not being mentioned, when I was being just wiped out from all publications, then I felt that there was no need for me to meet the media also, so I kept them away. And this continued for several years, but happily now we're all happy with each other and realize the futility of all that.
And how have you dealt with all the nasty stories, the link-ups with the leading ladies?
I think that this is customary when you're a celebrity or in a sphere where you're a public figure. These things happen to you and you can't run away from it. So you just accept it and move on with your life.
And an amazing life, God bless, yeah.
Hopefully, yes.
You some questions like, apart from Jayaji, who do you think you made the best pair with on screen? There was Hema Malini, there was Parveen Babi, there was Zeenat Aman, Rekha, Sridevi.
First of all, they're all very, very accomplished artists. So a great privilege for me to be working with them. I think after Jaya, I think with Jaya I've done the maximum number of films.
Right.
The next would perhaps be Rakiji. Right. Then there's Rekha, there's Zeenat Aman, there's Parveen Babi. Yeah. Sridevi, not so many, just 2 or 3 perhaps. But all of them just wonderful memories and great films that we did together.
Yeah, amazing film.
And moments that we have spent together. It's been a wonderful experience and a fantastic journey, yes.
Yeah, and your best co-star, who had the experience, your pleasure working with, there's Dilip Kumar, there's Shashi Kapoor, there's Rishi Kapoor, Dharmendra, Rajesh Khanna.
Oh gosh, they're all names that none of them you can really ignore. Dilip Saab, of course, because of the iconic stature he has and remained my idol even to today. So that was a completely novel experience. But all of them, all of these, whether it's Dharamji or Jitendra or Vinod Khanna, they all came before me, and I was always in awe of them because we were, in the same profession, and they were
amazing sequences between the two of them.
And yes, we were able to build quite a comfortable camaraderie, so to say, amongst all of us, because that's how it should be, really. Otherwise, your work suffers. And I'm happy that I was able to do that.
Yeah. When does Amitabh Bachchan get time to relax, and does he ever take a vacation?
I haven't taken a vacation in the true sense of the word, but yes, I travel a bit, a couple of days here, there. But even when I'm traveling, I like to, keep working. I write a blog and I do Twitter and I'm on Facebook, so there's always something.
And pretty regular.
And I am regular, yes. So that keeps you busy and, collecting information and putting your thoughts together.
Yeah.
So it's been a while while I've taken a designated holiday. And in the earlier days, it was equally difficult because of the work. But we used to go outdoors and used to carry the family along with us. So
but now everyone's so busy working themselves in the family.
Now everybody is working and they're all very busy, yes. But we try and keep important days and events.
But you still manage, you take time out for your pets, you take time out for your family, you have time, you have a little one, a new addition to the family, and you have time for the little girl. You have time for everyone. How do you do it? I think
it's not so difficult.
No, we want to see
if you plan it out, you can do it.
We want to see your cape. Yeah. And what is Mr. Bachchan planning for his 70th birthday? It's a big one.
I'm not supposed to know, but I believe the family is planning something, and it's something that they want to not divulge to me at all. So I've given them the permission to do something. Normally, I would like to have a very quiet day. Just spend it with the family and near and dear ones. But this time they want to do some celebration, so I've left it to them.
Yeah. And looking back, would you like to redo something or revisit something?
No, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Just let it be the way it was.
Just look forward. Yeah. Wishing you all the best and a very happy birthday, Mr. Bachchan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks.